I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.
Hi, everybody. It's Ari Galway here, and welcome to Stump The Guru show. If you're new, I appreciate you being here. We specialize in trust-based selling. This is a chance to come on live, ask me a question. Our whole philosophy and approach is very different than we might be used to. We're very contrarian in terms of our thought process. But as for 20 years now, doing trust-based selling, helping a lot of business owners, people in the field who are struggling with chasing opportunities. And this is a live show we do once a month. It gets converted to our podcast. You can listen to on Spotify. So welcome those who are listening but can't be here live. This is a show where people can jump on and ask me a question, challenge me, give me their toughest issues they might have, and I'll help get through it with a different perspective to give them insights to solve their problems in terms of how they're trying to work on getting people back on the phone or closing a big opportunity, but from a trust perspective only, not selling perspective, which is we'll talk about a theme about that today. But I want to first mention, if you don't know, we launched our new Selling with Trust app only a month and a half ago, and it's growing very quickly. It's for free. You can get the app at arigalper.com/app or the App Store. And inside there is my learning hub, where for free you can access my Mastering the Mindset course. You'll be able to communicate and post up to our other members, introduce yourself. We have a contest for people who are referring members inside the app to win a free trip to Australia to have lunch and meet with me and do some work with me over here near the Opera House where I live. And so it's exciting times right now. And hopefully, if you like this podcast, but you haven't downloaded the app yet, you're missing out, because inside the app, there's members sharing case studies, stories. I'm providing insights, new ideas, languaging not provided to the outside world, only inside the membership program. So it's free to join. Again, download the app at arigalper.com/app. Soon, probably mid-year, we'll be launching the community out to the offline real world. We're going to have chapter leaders in every city around the world, what I call trust-based leaders, where you can have your own chapter group, networking group come in, and business owners, and you can facilitate helping them build trust in their businesses using our structured materials. So it's quite easy to follow, but it gives you a chance to build your own network, give you exposure, positioning in your own local community. So to get that spot, you have to apply to become a trust-based leader, which is inside the app itself. So again, if you don't have it, it takes 2 minutes to download it, get it on your phone. There's also a desktop version. You can get to it from arigalper.com. Just click on login. It'll take you right inside there. Once you get it inside your phone, you can see it on the computer as well. So thank you for being here today. Our theme today is this whole notion around the idea of being the doctor, not the pharmacist, in your sales process. Now, what does that mean? I did a keynote yesterday, and I told the audience, I said, many of you in this room, without even knowing it right now, are wearing two hats. You're wearing the doctor hat and the pharmacist hat. And someone said to me, yeah, I'm also the secretary or the admin hat also. Well, yeah, you're right. You have three hats. And I said, but inside your sales conversation with somebody, you have to take all the hats off, only leave one on, and that is being the doctor. When the doctor talks to a patient, they don't work hard to build rapport with them. They don't try and become their best friend. They don't even try to be liked. Now, they hopefully do have some bedside manner, and they have some empathy, and they care about you, which most hopefully do. But they don't add a social structure to initiate a conversation with you, right? They say to you, where does it hurt? But what do we do in sales? The old way. We work hard to be friendly. How you doing today? Where you from? How you hear about me? I love your shoes. Love your haircut. We work really hard to build rapport with people. And when you rapport with someone who doesn't know you yet, they think that you have a hidden agenda. And I know it's hard to detach from this because we've been taught to believe relationship building equals trust. And it does. If you're willing to wait a long time to get the trust process. But what if you can remove the relationship piece from your process and only build trust with them? When I say trust, I mean when someone says to themselves, wow, he gets me. She gets me. It's when someone respects you, not like you. Okay? We get confused about that because we think they have to like us and get to know us better for us to work together. Now, here's the thing. If you invest energy in them becoming your friend and liking you. What happens is you position yourself as a peer. It's a peer-to-peer relationship, not an authority to peer relationship, right? So when you're equal to them, you have to work very hard to keep them happy. And it's hard to get to the truth with them and tell them things that they need to hear, or to ask the tough questions, right? And if you can't clear your mind like that, what happens is you end up having a lot of assumptions in your mind, a lot of questions to ask yourself, because what happens is we often have what I call the expert syndrome, where we have this sense of when we qualify somebody, our brain goes, oh, I can help them. And you become the pharmacist so quickly, you don't go down the iceberg deep enough to really unpack their problem, help them with a business case around it called COI, cost of inaction, and have them ask you for help. So the big theme today and lesson today is to say to yourself, are you being the pharmacist too early in the process? Are you giving the medicine away? You're talking about yourself too much. Are you being way too friendly? I'm not saying don't be yourself. Of course, be your natural self. But don't overextend yourself to the point where now you're a friend. You're trying to become their friend. And now they like you, but don't respect you. Here's why. Because you'll end up chasing them to get a response back, and they won't call you back. But if they respect you from the beginning and trust you with the structure that we teach, and if you want to learn more about that, just get my app. It's free, like I said earlier. Download it to your phone, Something with Trust, or get my free book at thetrustbook.com. We'll pay for the postage. We'll mail it to you in the mail, and we can read it yourself. If it resonates with you, great. But the concept here is we live in a commoditized economy right now. You are being shopped, okay? We're all being shopped. So if you're trying to deliver value to them and relationship building with them from the beginning of your process, you're going to hear this. I want to think about it. Then you got to chase them. That's not how life should be. Instead, you should break that cycle, know how to build trust with them from hello, and go do the X-ray, go down the iceberg with them, but build trust along the way using our trust-based languaging, and not get stuck having to chase people who don't call you back. That's the problem that we solve for low volume, high margin businesses that are struggling with long sales cycles. If that fits you, reach out to all these options that I gave to you earlier. Start learning how to, I say, detox yourself from the act of selling in itself, and instead learn how to build trust with someone else. That's the whole goal. And that's the whole theme of our work that we do with clients. It's part of our community that we're building now called the Trust Movement inside the app. And if you want to be part of that community, please join us. We're looking for business owners who believe trust is their core value, and the act of selling in itself is now liability, not a positive. And so on that note, we'll jump in the show, and here's where people have a chance to come and ask a question. I see some questions coming in on the chat box here. Can I subscribe to you? You can download the app on the App Store, arigalper.com/app on your phone and get into our community there. If you want to ask me a question live now, go to arigalper.com/live. It's a new page we have on our website, arigalper.com/live. Go inside there. You'll see a screen. You'll see me in there right now. And there's a button underneath that. There's 3 buttons, actually. One button to ask me a question now, to go into the back of the room here and ask me a question live. The second button is to be notified of our next shows coming up. The third button is to get the app. So there's no chance you'll miss something here. So if you have a question, come on now and hit that button to join the show. If not, I've got Sam back here, I believe, who will happily chat with me about the theme today. In many cases, people love our chats because we share insights. Both of us are on the ground. We're at the ground level talking to new opportunities every single day. We see this happening every day in front of us. We're teaching this to people. So if no one's there, no problem. If there's someone there, come on in. Steve, how are we doing so far?
All righty. Right now, it's pretty quiet. We had a gap with the live stream, but it's fixed. Apparently, something updated overnight, but this is what happens every time. But the beauty is, for anybody, you could all go to arigalper.com/live now. Whenever there's a live stream, it'll always be synced up there, so it'll be an easy place for everybody to find. And it's working.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
So, but I'm going to bring Sam on. Let me bring Sam in here. Hey, Sam, how are we doing?
Hey, Steve. Good. Don't you love technology?
Yep.
Fantastic. Hey, Ari, good to see you again.
How you doing, Sam?
Good. This theme that you're talking about with the doctor-patient, I love it. And one of the things that you told me a long time ago that really resonates with the best way to understand this is that if a doctor starts to prescribe medicine or antibiotics or anything before they've actually diagnosed and or got their medical history or taken the time to really understand, I mean, that's a pretty serious offense. Okay. I mean, it's likely that some serious stuff's going to happen, right? So, I mean, that's the best way to think about it. And you know, we all should be mindful to not be that pharmacist and start dispensing it, because you're right. Most people are very familiar with, you know, their expertise. They hear a problem, their instinct goes, oh, I can solve that. I've done it before, no worries. And they instantly, you know, go towards the medicine. So, you know, that's a good thing, to think about it that way. But the other thing that I wanted to touch on what you said is that about the whole relationship thing, you know, and it's true. You go see a doctor, they don't start to say, hey, look at my degrees on the wall. Let me tell you what I've done. Let me tell you about all my clients. They don't care. They don't start to tell you about how great they are. They don't care about their competition. They just hear, how can I help, right? They want to solve the problem. And the thing that really stood out from what you said is the fact that this whole notion of they don't try to build a relationship. You know, they're not trying to be your friend. And the truth is that if they do go down that path, it becomes a bit of a compromise, because if they've got something serious to tell you, you know, it becomes awkward. They don't want to, it's hard to share. They feel sorry or whatever, you know. So that's another reason why there's a bit of a bit of a delineation in their approach. You know, they can't really be your friend because obviously that compromises their ability to give you the truth. You know, you're a truth teller. What do you think about that?
Look, it's unethical for them to prescribe anything prior to a non-assumptive diagnostic approach. That's why when you go to get a second opinion to a doctor, he doesn't ask you for the first opinion because he has to start from the scratch and look at the evidence himself. But what do we do unconsciously? We have assumptions. We research the client first. We start to analyze and then try and solve the problem. We sort of mess everything up by trying to compress everything quicker and move them down the sales cycle. The difference here is there's no sales cycle. You strictly build that trust by peeling the onion back at a very deep level, asking trust-based selling questions that connect with them and have them open up to you. Things like, you know, is this a priority for you? How difficult is this? What's your timing on this? And you have to wait for this moment. And this is the magic moment when they say to you, how can you help me? You cannot prescribe or talk about yourself or your business or your solution. It's going to be hard until they say that to you. How can you help me? Then you have permission to walk them through your roadmap process. So it's important to break this down for people to understand, because yesterday I did a keynote talk to lots of business owners, and they all found themselves jumping in too early. And try to become their friend. I role played from the stage, and I said, let me ask you all a question. You do a live meeting with someone on Zoom. How do you start your meetings? And they all started saying, "How you doing? Nice to meet you. Where are you from? You know, would you go to the game last night?" They do all their rapport building thing, and everyone, they respond with rapport building because it's a social structure, but everyone knows it's fake. Because how can you become a friend with someone who's, you know, who you don't have a relationship with yet? So especially in a sales context. So that's the key opening there.
Yeah, I mean, real relationships take time, and people know the gig. You know, they've read their sales books. They know sales 101 is build rapport, right? So everybody's been conditioned to that. You know, and the other thing too is I think it's controlling your environment. So, you know, you've mentioned many times about, you know, the power of Zoom and being sort of a video call, something like that, as opposed to, you know, going to people's places or having them come to you. And yeah, sure, there's going to be a time where that sort of thing's necessary, but you think about what happens. You know, if they come to your office, then once again, you're compelled to do this. Hey, let me show you around. Do you want a cup of coffee, or let me go down the road and get you something? You know, and all of a sudden it starts off on a very bad note. It's instantly into that same rapport building scenario. Plus, not to mention all the driving around. So the thing I like about Zoom is, you know, it's at a scheduled appointment. There's no room or capacity, technically, to do all the fluff. So it's very conducive. People know, hey, it's an appointment. It's in my calendar, just like a doctor's appointment. I've got to show up. They know what to expect if you position it right. And then you've got actually permission to start that call we're all about them and problem focused and problematic. There's no need to say, hey, let me show you around all the bits and pieces. What do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And I think the more we talk about this, the more people start to shift their thinking around this. And the irony of all this is you can still be your natural self. You can still be your
Yeah,
warm self, but hold off on the energy that you're putting into the process to get them to like you. That's the
yeah,
hardest part, is we're so conditioned to get people to like us first before they can trust us. And the irony of all this is they don't even have to like you to trust you or respect you. And that's the big shift here. Let's take a pause for a second. I think someone else is coming on for a question. Let's see if someone out there
yeah,
for a
sure.
question.
Yeah, let me close off Sam real quick. I'm gonna bring on Larry Wall. Here we go. Hey, Larry, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing good.
All right. If you can
Yeah.
let everybody know a little bit about yourself, your business, and then your question for Ari, please.
Yeah. I've been a longtime financial planner. Worked with groups as a solo practitioner, a little of everything over that span of a career. And I currently find myself working in a kind of more of a team environment. And my question that I've been really struggling with is when you have that trust mindset and you know the process of, how to go down the iceberg and everything, if you don't have those around you in your team who do not have that trust mindset and are skeptical or wary of how it works, and I've even tried to at times try to get them to to be quiet, quit throwing up on your shoes in front of the client, like don't tell them that, don't wait no. And so I mean, short of getting them on a Zoom call and have you shake them around a little bit, but what is a good way when you're playing team? And
So when you
yeah,
say team, are you saying that for a first meeting with a new opportunity, you are with someone else or not?
yes, yes.
Oh, why are you doing that?
Well, that's really what they're wanting to do. The CPAs want to be involved because it's their client that they're bringing
Oh, it's
over.
referral? Is that it?
Yes.
Oh, I see. So someone referred you, and the referral source wants to be on the call. They ask you to be on there. Did they say I want to join? That's part of the
Oh,
rules? Or?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And it's most likely it's actually in person. It's not there
Oh,
on
okay.
a Zoom
So they
link or
come
something.
and meet the client with you at the office?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unusual. Okay.
Yeah. Even though they've made the referral, like I said, because they think of it as their client,
I see.
and we're
Sure.
referring. Yeah.
I get it. There's a couple of things that you can do, Larry, and it's not easy working in an environment when someone else does not see the light. And the funny thing is their client on top of that. So
Yeah.
that's probably why they're comfortable kind of just talking over them.
Yeah.
But do you have a good relationship with these guys, the accountants?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe what you can do is just have a briefing with them in advance of your next, before they refer you again.
Yeah.
Just say, look, we're taking a different approach now for our meetings that are trust-based and less education-based for the purpose of understanding their problem first, and maybe show them the roadmap. Here's our process that we use now.
Yeah.
And it requires us to be a bit more, listen more and talk less. Are you okay if we adopt some of this approach when our next meeting coming up? Would that be okay with you? I'm sure they'd probably say it's okay. Now, if they get resistance, say, I learned about this through Ari Galper, where they can download the app. Obviously, they can get my book for free. We can send it to them.
Yeah.
But I would just start with you sharing with them the fact that you're making a bit of a pivot in terms of the approach you're using to make it more problem-centric and trust-centric than information-centric. Because he thinks his job is to provide information. That's why he's like that.
Yes.
That's what he feels like he's got to flex and prove to himself, to the client, that he knows the stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, accountants obviously tend to have a lot of credibility with
Yes, they already have trust.
It's built in, and so they think they can just kind of say whatever and it's okay. But when they're trying to introduce me as a referred source to work with them on, then yes, it gets where they're stepping all over my toes.
Yeah, having you and them in the meeting together is hard for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to listen and he's talking in between that. But he's probably a reasonable guy. They're probably reasonable people.
Oh yeah.
I think if you approach them prior to next referral and say, just FYI, we're adopting an approach. You're walking through the process, maybe refer them to my work, whatever, to watch something or listen to one of these shows.
Yeah.
Maybe it might help their business as well.
Oh yeah.
And the thing they emphasize is we're really trying to become better listeners and less talking oriented. That's what that approach. And I think people will kind of go, oh, that kind of makes sense. I think the way you approach it, Larry, it gets more adopted easier.
Yeah.
You're not attacking him for doing the wrong thing. You're just saying,
right,
we're taking a different approach now. We're listening based mostly and talking less, to allow them to feel comfortable opening up to us everything the truth. Because we find ourselves, when we give too much information away, they kind of go, this just what we need and that's it. So we're adopting a new approach called trust-based selling, where we don't, and just kind of educate them on the concept itself. It's hard to argue against the concept because it's kind of common sense. It's like, that sounds pretty good.
but I understand that I'm making almost like a pre-sale before the sale. I have to sell you on being this way.
Yes.
Because this is what I'm going to do.
Correct. They have to be on the bus.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
To their own benefit. It's for the client's benefit.
Yeah.
And you can admit to him, look, it's not easy. I've been following this for a while now. I still struggle with this, but it's good for us to learn how to become better listeners.
Yeah.
Because listening is what trust is.
Yep.
So I think when you do it from your heart and you care about him, care about the client, I think people won't resist that.
Sure.
It's hard to argue against that.
Yeah. Yeah, really. It really is. So, yeah, I love it.
Give that a try, Larry, all right?
All right, will do.
We'll see you in the app. I'll see you soon, okay?
All right.
Take care.
Okay.
We're back to the show here, Stump the Guru. You're hearing insights. You're hearing a live question there from a financial advisor who is challenged with having folks around him who still live in the old mindset and believe their job is to prove themselves with all their education and knowledge, which can actually intimidate people who don't know their knowledge. So we talked today about how he can approach him to, or these people to kind of lay off the heavy flexing process and just do more listening. And I think the world needs that now. The world needs less talkers and more listeners. So people feel understood, because I think that we're going through a phase right now where human respect has been degraded to a certain extent with technology, AI, and all kinds of stuff going on in our world right now. And I think we need to bring it alive, bring that back. That's what we call our movement, the trust movement, to bring trust back into business, back into communication, and back into business growth, because a lot of companies have missed this and they have to catch up now, given what's happening in the world. So we'll go back to Sam real quick and see if Sam has any final thoughts before we close for today. Come on in, Sam.
Yeah, just listening to Larry there. I mean, look, if you're having a meeting with two people or more, it can be a bit intimidating. That's always a bit tough. I mean, you're just going to a meeting and all of a sudden two people show up. I get that one's a client, but yeah, absolutely.
What's funny about that, Sam? Every once in a while, if you go to a doctor, they may have an intern with them, and I get uncomfortable. They go, "It's okay if I have my intern with me," and I'm like, "Okay," but I'm like, I kind of want like an intimate discussion between you and I about my problem. I really don't want this guy to hear this, but it's the same concept, right?
Exactly. Yeah. One-to-one is always a more efficient, because look, some of these things, people are vulnerable, you share some information that wouldn't, if trust is developed, you're going to hear a lot that they wouldn't normally share with someone else. And if
Yes.
someone is there with you, that's going to dampen that experience. So you won't, it's not effective. I feel for Larry because it's a tough situation.
Exactly.
But your advice is gold. And look, the other thing too is I don't know if the accountant's got some kind of financial incentive for Larry to get that sale or not. But I think the other thing, once he realizes that some opportunities are not converting, then surely the penny will drop there and say, look, we're actually losing, you're losing money, I'm losing money. Why are we having these meetings if we're not converting? That sometimes gets more attention. And the ultimate trump card is that, I say this to people with teams. I say, look, you be the expert, you do it your way. And when you start getting results, then people will say, what are you doing differently?
So true, Sam. Look, I hope today you picked up some good ideas. You're chipping away at your mindset, and you're slipping back to the old ways of chasing people and overeducating and getting everyone to think about it, and non-committal procrastinated oriented leads. Then learn about our approach. I mean, it can't hurt but help you. Just download the app for free at arigalper.com/app. It's in the app stores. Log in. Oh, put a picture about yourself in there. So introduce yourself to the group. Watch the Mastering the Mindset course in there. Sam does a free live Q&A coaching call every week in the app. You can ask Sam a question. He's my senior coach. I do a call with the members every other week, the VIP members as well. And so there's a lot of help you can get in our learning center, a learning hub we call it, inside our community. So don't be shy. Get to know what we do. If you want to learn a different way, order my book for free at thetrustbook.com. We'll send it to you in the mail for free with a stamp and an envelope. You can schedule a time with us, chat with us as well, and have a chat, see if we're fit or not with where your mindset is around this, and we'll go from there. So on that note, Sam, appreciate you showing up. And the fact you're showing up means a lot to everybody here, and we'll sign off for now. Thanks for joining the Stump the Guru show.
Thanks, Ari. See you next time.
All right.
I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.